Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to stellarjstudios, formerly known as the TheRebookery channel, and I am Gina. I am so happy you are here today. All right, so here we go, video 3. This is our little field guide series that we are working on. If you want to go back and watch videos 1 and 2 to see where this came from and where we started, I encourage you to do so. I have my field guides here and I've done a lot of work on them, but I'm going to actually work on the one that we created last week as our examples. These were our 2 other ones we made so I could show you how to fold them, but this was the one that we actually did the foundation work on. I'm going to use this one to do my next step, which is to figure out how I want to start telling the story in this. The first thing is we have we have our background paper, and this one just happened to be yellow. Then we have our foundation, which was a mixture of paints and markers and some crayon. Who doesn't love regular crayon? But just remember, this is going to be waxy and it won't be activated by color or by water, and if you try to paint over it, it will resist, okay? And it might be a little harder to glue over, but there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm just going to keep on going with my crayon here. In fact, let's just get them all out. I'm going to start figuring out the story. Remember, my field guides had the theme of science. What if my theme, now hopefully you already have your theme, but what if my theme was friendships, being able to communicate with others, things that are comforting, things that friends like to do together, because you know, you've got your tea bag here, and okay, I'm looking over here. Hold on, I see a little, there we go. Oh, here's a little sticker. So friends like to go shopping together. Ooh, okay, here we go. Let's start, let me dig around. What else do friends like to do together? Okay, there's that. We'll see what we can do with that. Friends. Okay, here is something that a friend sent me. Again, I'm just very loosely interpreting friends. There's a cute little flower. So we got some stuff. I'm not going to sew on this one. Make sure I'm in frame. I'm not going to sew on this one because I don't have my sewing machine with me, and I want to do all of this just right here with you guys. However, you know that you are welcome to go and sew any of your material, and you could either sew it right on the journal. Just be careful how thick your pages are, especially if you're going to hand stitch. Just be careful. Or you can machine stitch. Now, I will tell you something that I like to do. It's kind of cheating, but I still love it. This was something I did when I made my field guides, because remember, I was making these at school. And so sometimes I would bring it home and I would stitch it on my machine, but other times I did this little cheat. I would take scraps of fabric and I would just run them through my sewing machine just to put some stitches on them. And I didn't care like their shapes or anything, and I just was running it through the sewing machine and adding stitches. So then when I would cut them up, so like I know I did it with this corduroy, so I would take a piece of this corduroy, I would run it through my sewing machine a few times, and then I would take the scrap of fabric with me to school, and I just cut it up in random sizes and shapes, and then I just glued this. But when you look at it, it looks like I actually stitched it on the actual page. So it was a little cheat, and I liked it because it made it super easy for me to figure out where I wanted to use these and not be so, okay, I got to figure out where I want it to put it right now. And then I got to go run to my sewing machine and I got to make sure that's how I want it. Like, this just gave me freedom to figure out how I wanted to add stitching later on. So there you go. I ran to my sewing machine and I just made a bunch of these little scraps of fabric. And again, this is another way to create continuity between your little booklets or your field guides, is by just using a collection of fabric and then just using little bits of it as you go throughout your actual decorating and adding stuff to your little journals. We said that we're going to use, or my theme is going to be something about friendship. So I got to get something going on here about friendship. How do I want to incorporate friendship, and what colors and stuff do I want to use? I really like that piece. I really need like something to set this off. Let's pull this off. I like that, but it's kind of too big for the cover. So what if we just, I'm gonna rip it right there. Okay, I like that. I also like this. This looks like it could be good for the cover. Okay, so let's glue this down. I think I'm just gonna glue some stuff down right now and kind of see where this goes. And I'll be honest, guys, by the time we get to the end of this, I may have changed my theme, and my theme may not even be friendship, but who knows where we're going to end up. I sped this part up because I felt like I do my best work when I'm not talking, because it gets my brain going in two different spaces. So to really be as intuitive as I can be, I refrained from talking and then just decided I would speed this up. If you are a person who thinks that it's hard to tap into that intuitiveness, to tap into that part of the process where your brain just kind of lets your hands take over, or your hands just let your brain take over, and you don't think too much about it, you might think about what's going on in the background as you're creating. If there's a lot of noise, if you're in the middle of a conversation with someone, if you are at a retreat or you're at a workshop where there's others around, it may block some of that just kind of mindless creating. And that's the part I love. I love that mindless creating where I don't really think about what I'm doing. I just kind of do it. And then once I finish up, I'm like, oh my gosh, that just all came together. So really think about where you're doing your best creating at. And when you get in that process where you're stuck, try to recreate that. If it's a silent room, if it's having TV or music on in the background, try to recreate that and see if you can get that same vibe going. I'm kind of liking where this is going. I think this is, I think this is kind of looking pretty good. I'm trying to think here what else I have left over. I kind of feel like I want to start going in with some paint. Ooh, I like that. Do that. So I like this circle right here. So then I think I'm gonna kind of enhance that with that piece of fabric, because that fabric kind of was going in that direction. And I also like that pink. I like the pink marker with that. And I like how that pink kind of came through. So that's one of the cool things about when you put your foundation down first. When you fold your paper, you may have only put like this hot pink, and I think this was is this my Sharpie? I think this might have been my Sharpie marker. But I may have only put it in a couple of places on the paper before we folded it. But see how it shows up? It shows up in every one of my pages. And that's cool because that makes the book consistent. And so that's really kind of cool. And it's consistent in a random way. I know that kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but it's consistent in a random way. All right, I'm feeling, I don't know, this page is bothering me. And I think it's bothering me because of this down here, but that's okay because I still can put paint and stuff on this. And I feel like I'm gonna put some paint on it. Right now I'm just kind of getting some story stuff down. Let's just put that right there. Maybe kind of telling a little bit of a story, or starting to tell a little bit of a story. Stick this little thing down. I'm telling you what, this glue stick, it's the best. Super sticky, as you can see, and it dries pretty quickly. Okay, let's see. Got a little blue in here. Okay, so I want to make sure I've got pink here, pink here. I've got some pink here, but I feel like I need to pull in some more pink. Now, I like that, but that's not pink, but I do like the color. Oh, but I do have some red down here, so that could work. That could work. So maybe this, I like this in the corner. All right, we'll just put it in there, see what happens. Okay. Yeah, all right, that's working now. I don't like that line. Hold on, let's flip it. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. Okay, so there's my pink, and there's pink. And this, I'm gonna do something with paint. Not a lot of pink here, but that's okay because I can always add more. I like this. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna stop here for today, and I want you to go and start adding your next layer to your field guide. Use your theme, but use your theme like just very loosely. Let it do what it wants to do. Gather just a small amount of supplies. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to find that perfect piece. Whatever you put down will be the perfect piece. And then see how much you can get done, and we'll in the next video we'll maybe start adding another layer, putting some paint on and doing some mark making. All right, my friends, I hope you are healthy. I hope you are happy. I hope this inspired you, and I hope you do something creative today. Until next time, bye.